Hey, have that hope community once again. Glad to be with you guys to record one more session of another opportunity to share with you guys life hacks, tools, things that you can apply to your life, your everyday life to get through the struggles, the anxieties, the depression, and ways to respond to life, guys, and ways to make life respond to you, right? So today, guys, I want to do something personal. I want to share with you guys a story of hope. My story, one of my stories of hope. Because my podcast is called Have That Hope Podcast, of course. So I want to let you guys know why I named it that. And one of the reasons of why I named that is through the many stories I'll be sharing with you about my life that showed me how hope and faith really plays a role in life and getting through life. So one of the stories I want to share with you guys is a really profound one with myself. It's actually getting out of college. Definitely getting out of college. I graduated from Illinois State University in 2005 with an English/social work degree. And it was a task. It was a task. It really was. It was one of my examples in my life that I tend to go to from time to time that let me know that I'm able to do anything I put my mind to, because that was a growing experience. It was a tough experience, but it was definitely one that I needed to go through to prove to myself. And that's one thing we as people, guys, we as individuals have to understand, is that once we go through something, is that we truly understand what we are made of. We realize what we function as. Like I said, adversity will introduce a man to himself. Stress will always produce what's inside. Just like a diamond is made from pressure, just like you find out what's in an orange from squeezing it. It will always reveal what's true, what's truly in its essence. So pretty much, college was a tough journey for me, guys. I mean, I graduated back in the day when they didn't have accessible books to rent from various sources. So pretty much, I was in that age of to where every semester your books were pretty much $1,000, came just about up to. And you pretty much had to buy those, and the only place you could get them from was the bookstore. So they had a very hefty monopoly going on with their book selling. It was ridiculous. So that was one of the elements that really kind of hindered me in school, because from time to time I didn't have enough money for the books. Quite eventually. Some books, I would say, because I was an English major, so a lot of my classes were literature and narratives. So I would have like 10 to 12 books almost in one semester, in one class. So the things kind of run up. So I would have to buy the books throughout the semester. I wasn't like one of those kids that could just come in and buy all my books in the beginning and just have that ready to go. No, I had to pretty much buy throughout the semester. And if the book wasn't available through the semester, I pretty much would try to go to the library to try to see if I could check a book out, maybe an earlier edition of the book. If it was a novel, I could definitely read it in the library. The internet had some kind of resources as far as how that goes. But pretty much, guys, that's how I got through with buying books through college, which was very difficult because some of my other like science classes, math, things of that nature, I would have like the text that was I would have maybe the 8th edition text that I would be looking at in the library, and pretty much they were reading from maybe the 11th or 12th edition. So there were things in the main text that I wouldn't have in the text I was reading from the library, which was a text with like 3 editions before. So I was kind of caught off guard from time to time as far as lessons and things taught. So generally, guys, that pretty much hurt me, and it definitely affected my grades. I was on academic probation 3 times in my college career. And for those who don't know, academic probation, when you drop below a certain GPA, if you don't improve that GPA by the next semester, pretty much you're kicked out. Which is pretty much guidelines for those people. Hey, you got to make sure that you're doing the work and that you're passing, right? So pretty much, going through that about 3 times. I've been on academic probation. Definitely an issue. I would say even trying to order my classes was an issue. So the thing at my school, guys, at the end of your semester, of course, you're waiting for your opportunity, because I went to a university, so very big school. So you're waiting for you get an opportunity to order your classes. So you have to wait in line, this virtual line number they give you, or time to go on to order your classes. And generally, by the time I would get on to order my classes, I would swear to God, I would say about 80% of the classes that I needed to graduate were full. That would happen maybe most of the time. So I would have to pretty much take any type of class that was within the criteria of me graduating, and I would just take whatever is available. Regardless of if this is what I wanted to do, or this is what I wanted to learn about, or if this was something I was even attuned to even know. I took a wide range classes, guys. I took things from photography to oh my goodness, speech classes, all type of things, just things you just be like, man, why am I taking this? But these things that were allowing me were passable classes that I could take. Because and I had to make sure that I took a full rung of classes, meaning you had to take at least 4 to 5 or 6 classes per semester to stay on track, indeed, to graduate in 4 years. So it wasn't a situation where I could take 3 or 4 because, hey, those are the classes that within my major that I could be able to take, and I know I could pass, and these are things within the business that I want to go into. No, it was like I had to take what was available. It was either take what's available or you can wait. And you pretty much wait out semester by semester and pretty much be in school 6, 7, 8 years, just because you pretty much want to take the classes that you want to. So that was a no for me. So definitely I took a hit with that as well, because I definitely took classes I were not prepared for. I took classes with professors that were known to be very difficult, because those were the only classes available. I took classes where professors were not lenient or, in no way. They believed in strict discipline and hard work. Like I said, it was rough, but it taught me a lot. Definitely did. What other did I have to deal with? I took off a semester. Yeah, that happens. That happens to everybody. But the thing is about taking off a semester, guys, is that you have to understand that whenever you take off of school, that's the hard part, because life happens. And I always tell people, college is not difficult, really. College to me was a repeat of high school. as far as academically. The only difference of college was, the hard part about college is just life happens as well. When you're in high school, the only thing you have to worry about is school. You got somebody waking you up every day to go to school. You got somebody reminding you to do your homework, things of that nature. When you're in college, you have no one to remind you to go to class. You have no one to tell you, hey, study for that upcoming test. You have no one pretty much telling you to go to sleep, telling you not to hang out late, telling you not to hang out with certain individuals. Life happens. Life happens. You work, you got to work. You got to support yourself. You want to get in relationships, all type of things. You want to get in organizations. So pretty much you have to learn how to discipline your life. And I would say learning to graduate from college is more about learning how to discipline yourself, is more than education, I would say, if anything, because that was the greatest lesson I had learned, was the discipline of it. Another issue I had, oh man, I would say this was the major issue, guys. I would say just about every semester, since my sophomore semester, guys, every semester of school, there was a tragedy either within my family or with me personally that would cause or negatively affected the way I could go to school, or if I could go to school, or questioned if I could go to school, or would I come back, because things were that serious. I had one semester, my mother had ovarian cancer. Another semester, couldn't pay for school. Another semester, classes weren't available. So I pretty much had to hope and go. Instead of signing up for classes one semester, guys, I had to actually go to physically wait for class to start, go to the professor and beg for them basically to let me in their class. And majority of them had already had a full class. And basically I had to sell myself on telling them, please let me in this class so I could continue to go to school. Any one of these things that I've brought up, guys, would have been an excuse for people to just quit, to just give up, to just say, hey, I'll do it later, to say, hey, this is a good reason to not continue to go on. But what that experience of school, college taught me was that, and taught myself, that through persistence, patience, and positivity, you can get through anything. I still don't know how I graduated, but I did. I knew, even with every obstacle I was going through, from family issues to personal issues to grades to books to relationships, I never had a fleeting thought in my mind that I was not going to complete school. And that, if anything, taught something about myself, is that I wasn't going to quit. And I knew that about myself. For example, guys, I took a French class. I took a French class because you had to take a foreign language to graduate. I took French class for 4 years. 4 years. 2 years in high school and 2 more years in college. Guys, the best I could do in French was probably a C minus, if that. I sucked. I mean, and I knew why. I knew that if I was immersed in the language, if I lived in the culture, I could have picked it up very easily. But the fact that it was in class and I could only use it in class, that really hindered my ability to catch on and really sink into the language. And I really tried, guys. I would go to class, and we had class like 4 days a week. Generally, you have class 3 days a week. We had class 4 days a week, an hour, 4 hour a day, you know? And even with that 4